Well, can you come here and talk about your nebulizing experience real quick? Like just 2 seconds? So would you say you were a skeptic a little bit or no?
Huh? What?
When you were sick and you nebulized, how would you say it went?
I would say that I'm not. I'm not. I don't know. I don't usually do the gimmick stuff, and that I used this, and it probably saved me about 50% on my recovery.
Like time-wise, you're talking.
Yeah, like if I got sick, from feeling down to getting sick, and then to getting better, and then back to normal, it'd take a week. And this time it only took, I was probably back to normal in 3 days.
And then...
I was nebulizing in the morning and the evening.
Cool. And then...
That's all you get. I'm just kidding.
Well, what were your initial symptoms, though? I mean, just so people know that you actually were, like, sick and not, like, you know, I feel down and then I have a headache and I nebulize. I think you were sick. I think you had, like, a fever, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell when I'm getting sick. And it was coming on strong, and I was going to wake up really sick.
Cool.
I had a fever, chills, and the whole thing.
Did you start coughing with the nebulizing? Did you ever? I don't remember you. I don't know. I want it to come from you. Did you feel like you were coughing a lot? Yeah. Cool. Any side effects from nebulizing?
It stings. It kind of burns.
All right.
But you can probably dilute it more and not have it quite as strong.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. That is a First Take organic. Hey. Yeah, if that doesn't scream authenticity, I don't know what does. So I would say, though, yes, you can dilute it. And if you prepare your saline, don't forget to put it in a container like this that you can't see through it that well. And put it in the refrigerator. You can mix your hydrogen peroxide saline solution, fresh, or you can pre-mix it and put it in your container. I like to save these little brown apothecary bottles as well and use those. I got some random question, I feel like, from someone. They were talking about maybe nebulizing with CBD oil and saline. I just don't know the literature on that one very well, so especially since a lot of these CBD oils are contaminated with other seed oils like safflower. This one has safflower oil and lemon flavor, so I would just probably not. However, you can mix your hydrogen peroxide saline solution with some nascent iodine, which is this brand detoxidine, really excellent. However, the thickness of this liquid is much more viscous, so it's kind of like a syrup almost. It's a lot thicker and it stains. So I do not recommend using anything with that kind of viscosity inside a mesh nebulizer. So a mesh nebulizer and a countertop air compressor nebulizer work very differently. They don't have the same mechanism. These are basically small air compressors that use forced air pushed through a chamber, and it creates these tiny aerosolized particles and nebulizes your medication. Whereas these handheld devices, while being very quiet and convenient, force the liquid through a fine metal mesh. So if you have something very thick, it'll stick into the mesh just like this does, just like the iodine did, and it will really reduce the amount that is delivered when you use it. Also, these are expensive compared to these. You can get a prescription for these and buy these on a medical supply website like, justnebulizers.com for like $40. Whereas these are $50 at least on Amazon. And this is my second one that I've ruined. The first one I tried to clean the mesh, which then got deformed through just... I traumatized it, and the second one I contaminated it, and it'll never work again. So you can see it's extremely... I guess you could say it's dirty. And so who even wants to nebulize this anyway? Anyway, yeah, so I have had another friend nebulize. She is going to talk to you a little about the gut health that she has been experiencing, her ability to go be more regular has really helped her. So I'll probably have her experience for you shortly as well. It just so happens that there is kind of like some sort of acute respiratory illness going around our church. I don't like that phrase. There's always something going around. So I'm going to nebulize preventively. I usually nebulize after a very long day at work if I've had a lot of crown and bridge prep, lots of aerosolized particles, lots of surgical extractions or something that'll generate a lot of debris. I'll nebulize after a day like that. If I've had a pretty light day at the clinic where I'm mostly doing, minor procedures, I really won't nebulize. But I will be nebulizing tonight. And just so you guys know, I didn't get what my husband had at all. I did nebulize, and these respirators usually, these compressors actually usually come with 2 adult masks, and you can always order a smaller set for your children or infants as well. And he did mention doing a much lighter dilution. I do recommend doing a lighter dilution. However, mine was 50-50 as recommended in the book. And if you're starting to feel sick, I think everything is very irritated in the airway anyway. So I can nebulize when I'm healthy at 50% hydrogen peroxide and the 0.1% saline, or 0.1% hydrogen peroxide, and the homemade saline, of which I had a video before. So that's the update. Interestingly enough, I nebulize when I have a headache. And I find that I don't need to take as much Advil or Tylenol, and I don't prefer to take Advil or Tylenol. Those are not good for your gut health. So I just wanted to say that that's been really interesting. I'm not quite sure what the relationship is biochemically in the body about that, but I'm excited to learn more about it. You can nebulize with a lot of different things, but what we've been doing really is just the protocol that I spoke about in the book that I spoke about in another video, Rapid Virus Recovery by Dr. Thomas Levy, which I will link again below in the description, as well as the nebulizer that we use. And even the decent detoxidine, which is on Amazon. All this stuff is on Amazon except for the tabletop compressor. So I haven't gotten sick, and my gut health has been really good. However, I will say that I took antibiotics recently, and I had a situation with my tooth. I know, I'm a dentist. And I also had a situation where I felt like I needed to nebulize, and I just feel like that really helps to counteract the destruction of the good bacteria that you can have when you take broad spectrum antibiotics. So things are good. So obviously I'm still here. So, however, I had to do this disclaimer where, you have to consult with your healthcare professional, and don't take my word for it. YouTube is just another resource, one of many. And always, if you know how to read the literature, you can go on PubMed yourself and do all the searches and then read the actual scientific peer-reviewed literature there and see what you think.